After a whopping 17 years away from the Star Wars universe, Ewan McGregor finally returned as our beloved bearded Jedi Obi-Wan Kenobi in the DisneyPlus series. We ponder the lingering questions following the finale and share what we know about a potential Season 2. Also, let's address the rumors behind the Star Wars spin-off novel that suggests Obi-Wan Kenobi is bisexual. And if Obi-Wan isn't McGregor's favorite character, who is? Patience. You must have patience. Indeed. If you haven't already binged on the series that came out gradually throughout May and June, you might feel as lost as C-3PO and R2-D2 were on sandblasted Tatooine. But fear not, it is a part of the Star Wars series and stars Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, reprising his role from the prequel trilogy, set 10 years after the events of Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith from 2005. It follows Kenobi as he sets out to rescue the kidnapped Princess Leia, Vivian Lyra Blair, from the Galactic Empire, resulting in a showdown with his former apprentice, Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen. The project began as a spin-off movie, but was reworked as a limited series following the commercial failure of Solo, a Star Wars story. Fans went wild when news that the science fiction's most controversial power couple were getting back together on the big screen. The inevitable reunion following their major fallout in Star Wars Revenge of the Sith, where fierce words were spoken, lava pits, lightsabers, and limbs were everywhere, was highly anticipated and a celebrated event for both viewers and the cast. When Darth Vader first appeared on set, McGregor says, "I had the cameras behind me, looking down this street," he recalls, "and behind the cameras were 100 people standing there. I couldn't quite work out what was happening. And then Vader comes around the corner into the street, and I was like, oh, of course." McGregor, meanwhile, confessed he was scared by Vader's strikingly sinister appearance on set. "I'm not joking. It gave me a proper jolt of absolute fear. Darth Vader is back, and badder than ever, as tense reunions go. This one rivals that of the documentary Bros. Be prepared to stick around till the end. We discuss the biggest lingering questions fans had after the finale. After playing Obi-Wan Kenobi in the Star Wars prequel trilogy, and returning to play the character in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series on Disney+, you might think Ewan McGregor would be attached to the Jedi Master, but at a recent convention appearance, McGregor revealed that he prefers another Star Wars character. Surely it's not Vader. Actually, it's Princess Leia. McGregor loves how Princess Leia is both wisecracking and beautiful, but what he admires most about her is how ballsy she is. "I was always very in love with Princess Leia when I was a little boy," he says. Later on in life, McGregor got to know Carrie Fisher and was lucky enough to become a friend of hers. "What a really beautiful journey," he says. Speaking of beautiful women, Ewan McGregor and Mary Elizabeth Winstead tied the knot in a small, intimate ceremony at their home. The actors first met in 2016 while filming the popular FX series Fargo, and at the time, they were both married. 2 years later, in 2017, Winstead filed for divorce from her husband, Riley Stearns, while McGregor filed for divorce from wife Eve Mavrakis after the co-stars were seen kissing in London. McGregor and Winstead have both been cast in upcoming Star Wars productions, so he'll no doubt have a new favorite character. The pair have a son together called Lori. I imagine they've already heard a lot of Jedi in training jokes. Speaking of Padawans, in a spin-off new book, Star Wars Padawan by Kirsten White, the author explores the Jedi's younger years. Readers rush to speculate about his sexuality. Disney's recently published novel has whipped fans into a frenzy as they believe it suggests that Obi-Wan Kenobi is bisexual. Social media were quick to highlight one passage that appears to show the Jedi in training questioning his sexuality, with many concluding it confirms his openness. In the passage, Obi-Wan is being questioned by another male teenager, Kazul, about romance and relationships. Obi-Wan awkwardly tries to change the subject and grows flustered as Kazul propositions him if he's ever curious. Spoiler alert, the character says, "Though I will admit I've been curious about kissing and why Oj and Zabri enjoyed it so much. So if you're ever curious too, let me know." Obi-Wan blushed and stammered, "Oh, I will. Let you know, I mean. Not that I will do that right now, with you or anyone." Young fans have gone into a frenzy, believing that this means Obi-Wan would be open to kissing another man. It's got a lot of positive buzz, and maybe it will be a hit on the big screen one day. What news of Season 2 of Obi-Wan Kenobi, you ask? Season 1 of the show has been released to much fanfare and universal acclaim. Naturally then, fans are pretty hopeful for a possible second season. Here's what we know so far. The Force is strong with Ewan McGregor. The actor seems to be a firm believer that Disney is just biding their time before they announce the continuation of Star Wars Obi-Wan Obi-Wan Kenobi, McGregor spoke to Radio Times. "I'm sure we can think of a few more stories before I turn into Alec Guinness. Don't you think so?" Disney has yet to confirm a second season of Obi-Wan Kenobi, so there's no release date so far. However, the series is set 10 years before the events of A New Hope, which leaves plenty of time in Star Wars lore between the end of the series and the movie. It's possible that Disney could announce plans to continue the series during their annual Disney Plus Day on September the 8th, 2022. If Obi-Wan were to return, how might it happen? As the first season drew to a close, Vader was being given a talking to by the Emperor and told to put away his fixation on his old master and focus on ruling the galaxy. The series may lack further opportunities for conflict between the two, but with 9 years before A New Hope, there's still plenty of storytelling potential. Perhaps Obi-Wan could secretly contribute his talents to the Rebel Alliance as it forms. As the first season suggested, he's still a highly respected military leader across the galaxy, or perhaps showing him doing good on Tatooine and fleshing out his relationship with young Luke Skywalker would make for an interesting season arc. Then again, there's the fact that Obi-Wan is supposed to be laying low, and the first 6 episodes already stretched this quite far with his journeys around the galaxy, so fitting in another secret adventure may stretch credibility. We will just have to wait and see. Always in motion, the future is. As promised, let's look at the questions left hanging after the finale. The Star Wars series Obi-Wan Kenobi wrapped up in grand fashion. Here are the biggest questions that remain after the series finale. What's next in store for Reva? The finale delivered something rare for Star Wars fans. A villain who turned back from the dark side and lived. Reva's turnaround was so shocking that some fans are speculating that she might become a Jedi again. Others, however, suggested that she might join up with the Path. Rumors of a Reva spinoff have already begun to circulate, a possible opportunity to explore how a former villain can redeem themselves after doing terrible things. Fans were hoping to see this development with Kylo Ren, but he didn't survive the rise of Skywalker. The biggest nitpick from A New Hope has always been Obi-Wan calling Vader Darth, seemingly a mistake from before it was established that Darth is a Sith title. So why in the finale does Obi-Wan call Anakin Darth? Obi-Wan calls Darth Vader Darth, suggesting that this was always a way of acknowledging that Anakin had become something else entirely. If this was the case, the real question is, why didn't he just kill him? If Obi-Wan Kenobi believed Anakin Skywalker to truly be dead, why didn't he just kill Darth Vader after their final battle? Could he not still bring himself to kill his friend, despite seeing Anakin and Vader as two separate people? It could be that killing isn't the Jedi way, but Obi-Wan sure seems fine with Vader being killed by Luke in Return of the Jedi. Can we expect to discover more about Obi-Wan's brother? The third episode revealed that Obi-Wan Kenobi had a brother whom he may have remembered vaguely from his childhood before he was taken to join the Jedi. A draft of the Return of the Jedi revealed that Owen Lars, the uncle of Luke Skywalker, was actually Obi-Wan Kenobi's brother. This idea was later scrapped and is no longer canon. Will Obi-Wan Kenobi ever discover and meet his long-lost brother? Well, the future of Star Wars on Disney Plus looks bright, even if we don't get an Obi-Wan Kenobi Season 2 right away. Next month sees the release of Star Wars Andor, coming to Disney Plus on September 21st, 2022. Not to mention the third season of The Mandalorian, coming early next year. And not to forget Star Wars Padawan, essential reading for Star Wars fans. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.